Trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops, making my head dizzy when you tell me what you want. I just wanted you to see me, never thought you'd notice. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, never let me go. You had me at a la 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 I can see you trying, finding ways inside my head. Lost and out of focus, I can hear a word you say. 'Cause I don't care about your game, I just wanted you to see me. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You let me out of la 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 Stop talking, I don't care. With you, my mind is clear. La 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 la. Have me at hello. La 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 la. Have me at hello. La 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 la. Have me at hello.
It's 8 o'clock on a Friday. It's Friday, the 11th of June. I don't need to tell you that really, but in case you are watching the replay of this, maybe that's helpful. Hey, guess what? It's Friday Night Live. We've got a trivia game for you. My name is Dale. I'm hosting. We got that's Brian back there.
Hello, little Brian Coca.
Little Brian Coca. He'll be managing the blue board, which you can see right there. where you can make donations to keep this thing afloat and get your message up. If you want to put a message in your Venmo donation, you can do that. Brian will be watching that and putting it up in real time, and it is fun to watch what other people say, in my opinion. I find it fun. I like the interactivity of it. This is a game, for those of you who are new, that you answer through the internet, and you get to see everyone's scores at the end of each round. We do have 3 rounds of questions. So it's like, I want to say real time. It's close to real time because we batch it like that, but
make sure to hit the live button.
Yeah. Okay, yes. If you haven't hit the live button yet, I don't know why we're jumping ahead to this.
Well, I just had to do it. I was behind
and
I hit the live button.
All right.
So you said it's almost real time, and I wanted to remind people.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of internet technicalities that can go on here. If you have any issues, pop over there in the chat. If you're looking on a desktop or if you're on a mobile device, you'll see the chat on the bottom if it's not hidden already. If you hate the chat, you can hide the chat. Hide what you hate. That's what I say on trivia night. And speaking of hiding what you hate, you should hide your phones if you're, not using them. I realize you might be using them to communicate with your team because this is virtual trivia.
What he's trying to say is don't look up the answers because it sucks the fun right out of trivia.
Yeah, looking up the answers is dumb, and you're not dumb because you're trying to win a trivia game. So don't do it. Anyhow, you'll be submitting your answers at this website right here, QuizNight.live. One person on your team and one person only will be submitting answers there. It's really important that that person pays attention to which round we are on. Not that they don't remember, but you may be submitting answers on the wrong round tab. So please make sure whoever your scribe is attending to that. I'm doing some real professional things like swatting at fruit flies.
Are there fruit flies in here?
I just saw a fruit fly.
We don't even have fruit in here.
They're rarely around.
There's
fruit.
Not even food in this room.
There is food here. This is liquid food.
Okay.
Anyhow, I think we've covered some of the bases, if not all of them. As I think I mentioned before, totally donation driven. That's what keeps this alive. We've been on a little bit of a children's roller coaster, I'll say, of donations in the past few weeks.
It's basically been coming down to
a gradual roller coaster. No one's throwing up on it.
There's not a lot of ups in this roller coaster.
Yeah. So anyhow, if you're able to help us out, and it's been a little while, you can make a donation either at the donate tab at QuizNight.live if you want to use a credit card. If you want to use PayPal, you know how to do that. And if you want to use Venmo, you know how to use that. There's all our information right there.
If you want to use any of these things, you already know how they work.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I'm just
anything you want to use, you just know.
Hey, guess what? Let's get into the questions. Shall we get into the questions, Mike?
Woo!
Woo! All right, question number 1. What liquor is produced using juice from the blue agave plant? Wow, that was in unison. That was perfect.
Did people know that we were both saying it at the same time?
We'll find out. Sound off in the chat.
Could you tell that Brian was also talking?
It's hard not to.
Maybe they're not fruit flies. Maybe they're pig pen flies. Has anyone showered recently?
Oh, no, good point. You did shower recently. That's why you're not seeing the pig pen flies. That's some good coffee. What do you say we do another question?
I had coffee today.
Question number 2. What rapper sometimes uses the moniker, Kung Fu Kenny?
Kung Fu Kenny.
You're right. When the line breaks at certain inopportune times, it is difficult to read.
Yeah. That's why reading ahead helps. Right? It looks like it's just F you, Kenny.
Kung, F you, Kenny. He does not like being called F you, Kenny. That much I'm sure.
Whoa, is it he?
Well, Kenny.
Brian, somebody says that you need to put up their message on the blue board.
Oh.
It's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Get the message up. You got to hit refresh more frequently.
Yeah.
Venmo is, I would say, sporadic with its updates, so we apologize if we don't get them up immediately, but we tend to hit refresh. Oh,
Dale tends to hit refresh.
Yeah, where's Dewey Dewey? Are you tuning in? All right, let's do question number 3. In the United States, horse racing distances are usually measured in what otherwise underutilized unit of measurement? Having lived in Saratoga, this does feel underutilized outside of that sport.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we use it more often?
Do they use it in dog racing?
I don't know. I've never attended or seen.
Is dog racing still a thing?
There's like 2 tracks left in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like one's in Arkansas and one's in Florida.
Yeah. So I was just watching Good Will Hunting, and they were at a dog racing event, and I thought, wow, this is really dated. They must have been in Boston. That's where it's set. That's where the movie's set.
Talladega? What?
What? No, I said Good Will Hunting.
And I heard Talladega.
Because we decided dog racing, cruel. Horse racing, okay.
Yeah, the bigger it is, the more likely.
I think it's the way the animals are treated, where the dog animals, racers, athletes, whatever you want to call them,
The dogs that race.
the dogs
Race dogs.
are more or less just cooped up in kennels constantly, where the horses are treated like royalty for the most part, apart from when they're being,
royalty, he says.
trained.
All right, we're moving on to question number 4. Which of these classic board games was inexplicably turned into a major motion picture released in 2012? Was it Sorry, Mousetrap, Operation, or Battleship? That's when the studios were like, we've got to do something novel, but also really easy, but also going to get some sort of pre-existing appeal.
Yeah, I think all 4 of those should eventually become major motion pictures.
Yeah, and then we should have like an NCAA bracket where the movies themselves battle each other for, the bestness.
Oop, leaderboard just changed.
The best
Whoa.
bracket.
I said,
Hey, let's do question number 5. World War I was, for the most part, ended by a treaty signed in what French city? See if you can think of a French city.
I can think of 2 French cities.
I can think of 3. Now I'm thinking of 4.
I can think of London,
Well,
Canberra,
you're thinking of cities.
and French Guiana.
I was thinking of Ottawa, Montreal, and
You're thinking of French-speaking cities.
what's the one that begins with a G across the...
Got to know.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Appreciate your French enunciation.
I'm a French enunciator. Let's do question number 6. Question 6. In Bryan Adams' song Summer of '69, the band he formed with schoolmates breaks up because Jimmy quit and who got married?
Ooh,
This
I
is
look
gonna be-
forward to grading this.
Yes, Brian is in charge of scoring question 6. Because he looks forward to it as he's told us.
Because you think there's going to be a lot of names that sound similar.
Yep.
You need to get it exactly right on this
Spelling
one.
counts on this one.
Spelling counts. Don't look it up. Don't listen to it. Don't say, Alexa, play the song.
Don't give him ideas.
That's cheating. Mike, you found the fruit fly, huh?
That's not cheating if it just happened to come on while I was saying Alexa because she's in the other room. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think they're from the plants. I think that's where these...
Yep.
How do flies spontaneously erupt from plants?
They spontaneously erupt from the soil.
But the soil has been sitting in here, for like a year almost.
Have you ever heard of a cicada?
Have you ever heard of water?
I've never heard of a cicada. In
You
water?
You water those
Oh, so you
plants.
just water the cicada seeds?
No, you have water that has fly seeds in them. Fly seeds are also known as fly eggs. Let's move on to question number 7.
They should be called seeds.
What term is used in tennis for a serve that hits the net but lands in the service box, allowing the server another try without counting as a fault? If you say fault,
Oh my God.
that's you not paying attention
Right
to the
out.
question
We are not consulting
and not responsible for this.
any more rule books on tennis
We're done with tennis rules.
because we had a debacle We looked at it was about the height of the
net.
tennis net, and then after that question, and we were all feeling bad about it, we went to a tennis court and we looked at the net, and we're like, this net is like a straight line. And what we concluded was, when they wrote the rules, they didn't have the technology to make them nets. Yeah, the taut steel cables, so that they just made regulation nets have that.
Right, that droop.
Yeah.
Yep. Question number 8. What direct marketing company sends out its prize patrol to greet sweepstakes winners with oversized checks and balloons? It's the balloons that really sell it. Not the zeros after whatever number it is.
What is it? Oh.
Sometimes the shadows on your shirt, Dale, make it look like you're sweating like crazy.
Yeah. Which would be very normal in this room.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm nervous and uncomfortable. I think
Welcome back to New York, Frano and Mary.
Yeah, welcome back.
Frano?
I think it's Frano.
Okay.
Frano and Mary, welcome back. Look at that. A little extra bang for your $10. Let's do another question. Question number 9. In the classic version of Trivial Pursuit, what color is associated with the sports and leisure category? Choices are orange, blue, pink, or green. This is a good question.
I really thought you were just going to say it.
No, I'm going to. I'm gonna ruin it, like I did with that Alexa thing.
You guys could just look up the game if you got it. You could just go and look at it. You can cheat.
No, that's cheating. That's just looking things up.
Yeah, this is not a test to see if you can look up
This
answers.
isn't a scavenger hunt, folks. This isn't.
Right.
We do those.
We do those. We've got scavenger hunts on our brains and on our
This is
calendars.
a scavenger hunt of your mind.
Soon to be your calendars. Let's do question number 10. Miles Davis and Louis Armstrong both primarily played what instrument? That's your 10th question. We're going to let you think about it. We're going to let you argue for a minute. Then we're going to scroll all the questions and start a 2.5-minute clock. But in the meanwhile, think about it.
Think about it. You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
Okay, this is the final question at a Dale trivia night.
Yeah, that's what we played at
That's
Delphi.
it. You already got your karaoke. That's. Yep.
Bev requested a song that I'd never heard of.
Yes.
And I would like to try to sing it.
Did you look it up and learn it?
I've not learned it.
Did you look it up? Have you heard it?
I looked it up last week and I remember nothing of it. I listened to half of it.
So Dale didn't look it up, but he's pretending like he did something.
What I'm saying is we're going to figure out how I would sing that song.
We'll figure it out.
All right, we ready to start that 2.5-minute clock?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Here go the questions. 2.5 minutes to get those answers in.
Don't deprive these people of this. By now, it's not unfamiliar music.
Right, everyone knows these songs. at this
Basically,
point.
you know, these are the soundtrack to online shows.
With every song sounds the same.
Yeah,
It could be a 10-minute playlist.
and the shuffle function's really poor, so it just kind of like goes through the same 10.
There's some songs
Oh, you normally hit shuffle on your
Yeah.
I hit shuffle and then
Let's skip ahead.
I adjust.
Oh,
That's what I do.
that's actually a pretty smart idea.
You adjust what? The cue? Yeah.
I should do that. No, I just let it go down the list, whether it's by date or by song title or whatever it is. You got about 90 seconds left. Yeah, I see all the answers. We're down to about 1 minute. But
But something's wrong with that formula in number 3. how many people got it right in a row. Yeah, it was. Maybe that's the problem.
Only 30 seconds left to hit that submit button.
In accordance with prophecy, question 6 is annoying and great.
15 seconds left. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gong! Gong! Guess what? We're going to look at all your answers. We're going to judge them as we see fit, and then you'll see scores shortly after that. In the meanwhile, you'll be seeing a bunch of venues and stuff where we're doing trivia at in-person events. You can check them out. Quick note, though, on Thursday nights at Gilded Club, the time is shifted from 6:30 to 7 to accommodate people who can't get there on time.
And Mike's hosting it, so if you want to see the invisible Mike, he's visible.
Yeah, so there's that added bonus. So also great time to make a quick donation via Venmo. We'll be resetting the blue board back. Oh,
Happy birthday, John!
oh, look at that. Hey, happy birthday, John.
That's the last one at this level, and then we'll bring it back down to $2.
Yep, so we'll be bringing the blue board back down to $2 and restarting that at the beginning of next round. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Just watch me break it, you'll swear. You're falling into me, touch me, I swear. You would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Oh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got Watch me break it. You'll swear you're falling into me. Touch me, I swear you'll do anything that I want to keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. Gonna make you sweat on me.
It says Brian's laptop looks like that part is blurred out. And
Do not look over here.
It should be. It is actually blurred out.
I'm not wearing pants.
Not his laptop. Guess what? We've got correct answers for you. What liquor is produced from the juice of the blue agave? That would be tequila. Tequila is the right answer. Could be silver, could be reposado, could be añejo, but tequila is the answer we're looking for. What rapper sometimes uses the moniker Kung Fu Kenny? That would be Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, Kung Fu Kenny. That's how. I don't know who calls him that. Question number 3 was, in the United States, horse racing distances are usually measured in what otherwise underutilized unit of measure? The correct answer is the furlong. Furlong. How many teams got that right? That's the only one I don't have data for. All right. But it looked like a fair bit. I want to say, just looking at it, I want to say 90%. Which of these classic board games was inexplicably turned into a major motion picture released in 2012? If I had to guess, the only one of them that inexplicably would ever be turned into a motion picture would be Sorry. The correct answer was, however, Battleship. Battleship got you 10
Rihanna,
points.
yo, Riri.
Oh, Riri was in that?
That was her first movie role.
And last.
It's a tough thing when you look at a script and you say, what's this, Battleship? And is it based on randomly shooting missiles into the ocean?
The Russians are just like, did we hit you? And the Americans are like, no.
And they just move the boat after they get hit.
They move the sunken boat. I've never seen the film, but now I want to.
I feel like they had such an opportunity, and I haven't seen it either, but they had such an opportunity to make it a total joke film.
Yep. And we would have loved it. Number 5, World War I was, for the most part, ended by a treaty signed in what French city? The correct answer is Versailles. Versailles. If you ever are unsure about what city it is in France for anything, just go with Versailles. It's never Paris.
Never Paris.
In Bryan Adams' song Summer of '69, the band formed with schoolmates. The band he formed with schoolmates breaks up because Jimmy quit, and you were split between the correct answer and a name that sounds almost exactly the same.
Oh no, there were Jacks and Jennies and other things in
yeah?
there. Yes, I
okay.
scored those first.
Well, we did not accept Joey, even though it sounds an awful lot like Joey. It was Jody, and Mike points out that if you listen to it, it's clear as day, clear as a bell.
I just want to say, for the record, that I do not support our hardline stance on this, but that's how it shakes out when you've got 3
But
people.
unfortunately, he doesn't pull sway in this organization. Number 7, what term is used in tennis for a serve that hits the net but lands in the service box, allowing the server another try without counting as a fault or a point? The correct answer is a let. A let. And I'll tell you, I'll let you know that 73% of teams got that one right. But not Jay Renner's team, because he doesn't even know what tennis is. Number 8, what direct marketing company sends out its prize patrol to greet sweepstakes winners with oversized checks and balloons? The most important part. Correct answer is Publishers Clearinghouse. Publishers Clearinghouse. PCH, as you would know it if you were.
That's how I know it.
If you were an
I'm
acronym-only
like,
person.
Oh, what? I always just knew it as PCH.
I read a whole book once where every word was just an abbreviation. It's just the first initial of the word. In the classic version of Trivial Pursuit, what color is associated with the sports and leisure category? I was guessing orange, and the correct answer was orange. And so I felt good about that, and hopefully you did too. It looked like 83% or 82% of teams got that right. Very good. And final question, Miles Davis and Louis Armstrong both primarily played what instrument? We gave you 10 points for writing trumpet. Trumpet. Those are the answers. You'll see them right down there. Looks like, what was our easiest question that round? Looked like the tequila question. Nope. Yeah, tequila. Tequila and Battleship
It's
were
not
the easiest.
identifying our easiest anymore.
Yeah, it did. It was a tie though. Guess what? Who's your scribe? Please address your scribe and tell them make sure to be on the round 2 tab.
Address the scribe. I don't understand the blue board. It says Jack isn't on the list, either of our lists.
I
Is this
wanna
a
say
quote
that's a
from something?
reference.
You're not meant to understand it.
Oh, Jack's not even on your list. Jack's off
This
the
is how
list.
Swedish spies communicate via our blue board.
Swedish spies are communicating.
A
On
lot of espionage has actually been conducted through this YouTube channel, and
once they found out about a blue
we
board.
let you in on this secret. So see if you can decode it. We can't.
All right, we're going to move on to question 1 of round 2. Here it is. What upstate New York City is known as both Flower City and Flower City? What?
What?
Homophones. All right, that's your first question.
Homophones.
That's what I said.
I know.
Homophones. Yeah.
Do you know what a homograph is?
Yeah. It's two graphs that look the same. It's like the Ethereum and the Bitcoin graph.
No, I recently learned this. So
Homographs.
a homograph is a word that is written the same, but is pronounced differently, like wind and wind, or Polish and polish.
Oh.
I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
homograph.
Now we can't use that as a question. I was gonna use that as
Or we could use it as a question.
Oh,
And now that some
reward
people have
for
learned.
Look at that.
the
'cause
very few-
That's the thing
small
about
percentage.
trivia is you're not supposed to ask things that people have no idea
Never
about.
heard of, right? Let's move on to question number 2. In which month in 2020 did New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo first issue an executive order mandating face coverings be worn in
That's
public?
a good question.
Thank you.
That's a good one. Although I feel like just saying Andrew Cuomo would have been enough.
Well, then, which Andrew Cuomo are you talking about?
Yeah.
The one I knew issued an order. I mean, it's a coincidence that he has the same name as the governor. That is a good question, and I'm thinking of a month.
And I just want to say,
I got it.
I'm thinking of the month. Happy birthday, Dennis! Woo woo!
Yeah, Dennis, happy birthday.
I don't think
Assuming
that's
it's not I know it's not our brother.
it's not our
Dennis.
brothers because that's September 23rd.
How can two people have the same name?
And both have a birthday. Doesn't seem likely.
It's weird.
Double coincidence. Let's do question number 3. The Kit Kat Klub is the primary setting of what musical?
Now, so Mike wrote tonight's questions, and I think they're excellent questions, but I'm pretty sure we asked that question.
This is completely unfamiliar to me.
Oh, okay, then I asked it in an in-person one.
Evidently, the Basenji question from last week, Brian said, I asked that on a Tuesday, maybe 2 weeks ago, but
Yep.
I wasn't playing
Dale didn't
or
know.
hosting.
The
And
right hand,
neither
left
were you
hand,
guys.
and middle hand that comes out of the back are not always communicating with each other.
Right.
It is funny how often we come up with similar questions.
Clue was absolutely a better board game that was based on the movie.
It is.
It's
It
the
is. It
best
is both a
board
better
game-based
board game
movie.
and a better movie.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that, except for maybe the actors in the movie Battleship.
Rihanna.
She was the only one. She did all the roles.
Let's do
She's like
question
the
number
Eddie
4.
Murphy of her time.
Question 4. According to the National Fire Prevention Association, which of these is the most common cause of home fires? Is it cooking, faulty wiring, cigarettes, or arson?
Or is it the weed dragon?
Oh.
Are you guys
I'm going to
familiar
say
with
the answer is no.
the weed dragon?
No.
I just learned about it. It's basically a non-pesticidal way to control weeds, also known as a wide blowtorch. And one of Sarah's coworkers had someone landscaper come in and use this to control the weeds, to burn the weeds away. And they were like, "It smells like it's still burning." And he's like, "No, we're done with that." He's like, "No, something's burning," and it like burned most of their house down.
It burned down.
I mean, didn't burn it down, but there was like a fire throughout a significant portion of the house.
So this weed dragon you speak of, I'm familiar with because I think it's used for driveways. If you've got like a crack filler, you put like
Oh yeah.
they use it on use it on that.
Yep.
Evidently, it's now called a weed dragon. Let's do question number 5. With just 7,477 residents, what city in New England is the smallest U.S. state capital by population? Looking for the city. Looking for the city there.
Yes.
I know this.
The weed dragon is affectionately known as Puff, the magic dragon.
The magic dragon.
Yeah. That was the original brand name, and then they just had to call it Weed dragon.
Let's think of other board game or movies based on a board game. Now, there's the movie Game Night, which is not really based on a board game. But...
Chinese checkers, was that one? I bet there was a movie called Chess. I feel like they're... Oh, here's one. It's not based on it, but the same name.
It has to be based on it.
Go.
Oh, it was a documentary. We're not talking about documentaries.
No. There's like a '90s movie called Go. It was
right. Yeah, I remember that. It was some sort of action film.
Yeah.
Let's do question number 6. The National Park Service is a federal agency that falls under what cabinet department's jurisdiction? Cabinet department's jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. I read good.
I do the reading.
I'm the reader. Check this out.
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea.
Who's a
and
magician?
ballast pencils on a mic.
I'm not Puff the magic dragon.
Look at what Dale has done.
Pretty impressive.
How does he do it?
Pretty proud of myself. Let's move on to question number 7. Get this out of here.
Get a picture of this, Dale.
Name the Australian. Choices are Rupert Murdoch, Richard Branson, George Soros, or Carlos Slim. Those are fun names.
Now, is that name the Australian who was like born in Australia, or is a current citizen of Australia, or did they have to
Why
be
are
both?
you introducing confusion?
Because I'm not sure what's being looked at here.
This person is born in Australia and also the only person that
Has an Australian connection.
Okay.
If you got to pick your own name, just pick your own name.
Yeah.
And you could do it.
I think everyone actually does have that ability who's an adult.
You could, yeah. So what name would you pick?
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, Mike?
Wow, he picks a
Just like-
known villain's name.
I'm leaning into the hair loss.
No, that's smart, man.
You're not leaning in hard
You
enough.
want to go with John?
He was cue ball bald.
Oh, he wasn't bald at that time. I was thinking of John. What's his name from Die Hard? But Bruce Willis was. He had hair back then.
Yeah, he did.
It had a weirdly small amount of hair. Yes.
I didn't
It's
see
not
him.
weirdly small. Let's move on to question number 8.
Normal small amount.
What line of sunglasses produced by Ray-Ban were on the verge of being discontinued before a product placement deal led to Tom Cruise wearing a pair in Risky Business? We're looking for
Now, if I was
a
going to
line of sunglasses.
guess, I would guess Dale wrote this question just because it's
four lines?
almost 4 full lines.
But you know Mike wrote all the questions.
I know Mike wrote them all, but now
Let's just see how crazy we can get with this.
let's see how many pencils you can get in it.
What's a really fun noise for the audience?
Hearing a pencil stab in there? Yeah. I realized you could hear that. Sorry.
Dunk, dunk.
My apologies. It was such a small motion, but so much noise. All right, I feel like this one you've either got to guess or you're lost on. So let's move on to question number 9. What type of dentist would perform root canal therapy? Is it orthodontist, periodontist, endodontist, or prosthodontist?
Now, one of those, fun fact, is a dinosaur.
You know, with the advent of the internet, we could argue that they're all dinosaurs, Brian.
Yeah, a lot of people getting their root canals done on the internet. Yeah, I got one of those internet root canals. I just put my teeth right onto the modem and
Just get a USB adapter for the root canal device.
yeah, it's just a peripheral on your smartphone now. It
Yeah.
just goes in there and does the drilling, and
Clue, how's the blue board looking?
it's quiet.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Clue
I've been refreshing it.
no one wants to change, although I guess
$20.
$20.
$20. That's a steep price to beat.
Our dentist helped work out with an emergency dental situation yesterday.
You said our dentist.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh yes, I do have the same dentist as you. I don't know why I just assumed we didn't. Let's move on to question number 10. What is the name for the electromagnet used to engage the starter motor in most internal combustion vehicles?
Well, what the heck? I know a bunch about cars, and I don't know this.
Yes.
Okay.
The name for the magnet?
It's an electromagnet might be a misleading term, but it's not inaccurate.
100% not in this league.
I feel like it's a right term, perhaps, but it's
Sure, it's correct, but
it may be confusing. So silence.
Yeah, well, I'm just sitting here trying to think what it is.
I know what it is. Are you serious?
It's taken me a little bit. It's the electromagnet that's used to engage the starter motor. So that's like pushes it in. Why are you mouthing it to me?
Because then they can't see it.
Yeah, but why is it important that I know?
Because I wanted to see if you'd say, "Oh yeah, that's right. I've heard of that."
I couldn't even understand what you were mouthing. You're using a lot of tongue, and that's I don't think normally how
People don't talk with.
People
The
don't
tongue
go.
is not the visible part.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to really emphasize things. Hey, guess what?
When you're trying to silently emphasize things.
Hopefully you've just given up on this question and written something down. But if you didn't, don't worry. You still have 2.5 minutes to get your answers in. We're going to scroll all those questions that you've already seen and start a 2.5 minute clock. Make sure you're on the round 2 tab, please. And here we go.
Hey, could I get another one? Just this. No, give me a different thing. Yes.
The couch man will have a dogfish.
So, thank you.
Got about 90 seconds left.
Well, that's clear departure from right. He's imbibing. Oh shoot, the blue board just got reset and you've got 1 minute to get your answers in. Dumbledore. We went to that. Oh, you got 30 seconds to get your answers in. We went to that techno bar in Mont Tremblant.
Yeah.
And it had a very cool vibe to it, but we did not fit in.
Right, we weren't cool enough.
We learned some new music that night.
We learned music that might make us feel cool.
This music reminds me of that. 10 seconds to get your answers in. 5,
Counting it down, you
4,
got 3, 2, 1. You thought the clap would help, huh? Cool. Guess what? We're going to look at your answers. We're going to give you 20 points for each correct one you gave us. In the meanwhile, now is a perfect time to have your team donator make a donation either with a credit card, which really only takes 30 seconds at the donate tab, or you can use Venmo to get your message up over here on the blue board, or you can make a PayPal donation if you want to go and see if you can remember your PayPal password. It's a great exercise to do. You should know your password at some point. So anyhow, we'll be right back.
after these messages.
back. We get correct answers for you here. The first question of the round: what upstate New York City is known as both the Flower City and the Flower City, like the what is it, grain, or the plant? The correct answer is I almost said Chicago. Correct answer is Rochester. Wow, Rochester, boy. You know, you take one round off. In which month in 2020 did New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo first issue an executive order mandating the face masks be worn in public? That was April. That was my guess.
It felt like it was May to me, but then I thought,
I would have guessed May.
yeah, because I know they were recommending it, and then it came into
69
law after.
69%
It wasn't just out of nowhere.
Right. It didn't come out of nowhere. Next question was Kit Kat Klub is the primary setting of what musical? The correct answer is Cabaret. Cabaret. That was the easiest question for our teams. Basically 94% of teams got that one right. Number 5, according to the National Fire Protection Association, the most common cause of home fires was cooking. Because
Cooking meth.
it usually happens at least once a day in many households. And 69% of teams got that right, too. Question number 5, with just 7,477 residents, what city in New England is the smallest U.S. state capital by population? That would be Montpelier, Vermont. A lot of French words tonight, and 66% of teams got that one right. Montpelier. Number 6, National Park Service is a federal agency. It falls under what cabinet department's jurisdiction? The correct answer would be the Department of the Interior.
79% of teams knew that.
Aha. Very good.
It's a 79er.
All you had to write was Interior. Number 7, who was the Australian? The correct answer among those 4 individuals was Rupert Murdoch. Did we fact check this to make sure there are no George Soroses in Australia? I'm just kidding, Nick. What line of sunglasses produced by Ray-Ban was on the verge of being discontinued before a product placement deal led to Tom Cruise wearing apparent and risky business? The correct answer would be Wayfarers, which showed up in a Don Henley song, if I'm not mistaken.
I got your Ray-Bans on.
Boys of Summer.
You said you got your Did you say Wayfarers?
Yeah. Get your Wayfarers on.
Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah. Yeah, when Dale sung it so
as soon as I sung it
Get
rang
your
a bell.
Wayfarers on!
That does not happen when I do poetry by Dale, I'll tell you that much. Type of dentist would perform a root canal therapy. Oh, root canal therapy. I didn't realize.
Was that part of the question?
Therapy was part of it.
I didn't either.
I just heard perform root canal.
That's all I heard.
Correct answer is an endodontist. And that was a very hard question for people. Only 75% of teams got that right.
It's the same thing? We call that therapy? We call surgeries are called therapy. Yeah, got a frontal lobotomy therapy.
Yes, I had
gotta go to therapy.
Appendix therapy. Question number 10. What was the name for the electromagnet used to engage the starter motor in most internal combustion vehicles? The correct answer was the hardest for people to come up with, and that was a solenoid.
I didn't know it. I mean, I know what solenoid is, but I was thinking relay.
But he doesn't really know it that well. Let's agree on that.
I mean, I've heard of a solenoid. I know what they do, but
you didn't know they were electromagnets.
That's the thing. I don't think of it as an electromagnet. Think of it as a solenoid.
Yeah, sure. So guess what? Your scores are posted at the scores tab. Hi, Grandpa. I'm speaking on behalf of Louise. A kiss and a hug for you. Unless that's just supposed to mean Cho.
Guess it's a kiss and a hug.
Kiss and a hug, yeah. All right, so there are the answers.
I think she said it. Hi, Grandpa.
You think that's how it was said? We'll never know. Let's move on to round 3, where all the questions are worth round.
Well, the blue board just got aggressive.
Whoa!
It went from "Hi, Grandpa" to "Tax the rich."
$20, tax them.
Now we need some really rich guy to say $1,000 says don't tax the rich.
Yeah, rich guy out there in the audience.
And then
make a huge
he gives
donation.
everyone $1,000 who doesn't tax him.
Please make a huge donation if you're really rich to counteract that that plea there. Let's move on to question number 1 of round number 3. A well-known computer worm in 2001 was spread by an email purporting to contain a picture of what popular tennis star known for her beauty?
Ooh.
Tennis is a theme tonight. Big theme.
Mike plays a lot of pickleball, which is like tennis.
Tennis adjacent.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of describing it.
We played tennis for the first time after playing pickleball, and tennis feels like the fake sport now.
Really?
Does it feel like the fake sport because it's
Because
so much
it's
harder?
bigger and requires
There's so much room and it's so hard.
its level of difficulty makes it feel fake.
Right. This isn't a
There's
real
so many
sport.
things that are fake.
This is something
Seems
giants
like nobody
played.
could possibly do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, most popular tennis is played by just one person on the court. All right, let's move on to question 2. English and Manx are the 2 official languages on what island located between Great Britain and Northern Ireland? You tell us. We're going to think about taxing the rich. Should we impose that tax for the rich?
$1,000 says yes.
All right.
I think that
Brian's voting with his
but I think
$1,000.
that the rich are taxed. So it's like just stating what's happening.
Oh, you're right. If you're not trying to read into the context of that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it should be more like tax the rich more.
Right.
Wow.
But then you do it, and the statement still stands. It's like, when does it end?
You see Jeff Bezos' tax return?
I
It was
didn't.
0.
Did you?
Yeah, he didn't pay anything.
He had 0 income tax.
Didn't make any.
That's what finding the
Didn't
right
make any
accountant can
income.
do for you.
Right. He made no income. so
It's
he
all
had to
it's
pay
all
tax.
it's all tied up in capital.
Oh, I just got a message.
Cool. Dale got a message.
I got a message.
Guys, I don't want to brag.
I got a message from
but people message
from a very
me.
dedicated team who is in the Adirondacks playing in their car where they have a signal. Kudos to them. Let's do question number 3. TC Energy recently announced that it was terminating what project that would have started in Alberta and ended in Nebraska? That's question number 3. I keep up on a lot of projects that could, have those 2 endpoints. A lot of projects. Could be a diorama. It's a school project. You guys are fun company right now.
Yeah, well, Dale, we're busy dealing with our numerous texts that are coming in because
You guys
we're
are more popular than me.
Yeah. My texts are actually coming into you as well, but you're not looking at them. Because instead, you're drinking things and hitting things with mallets.
Okay, I see. We've got some real...
People are
lot
talking
of
about
guff in the chat.
Guff. It's getting guffy. Remember when we had to, throttle that? We had to put a governor on the
Yeah.
guff? We actually put a governor on the chat for a very long time.
We ready for another question? Yeah. Let's do question number 4. In Japan, Shinto shrines are usually marked by an ornamental gateway known by what T word? I will be impressed if you know this. And if you want to impress me, this is a way to do it.
Tommy Two-Tone, then you would be thinking
That's
of the
2
song
words.
Jenny Jenny.
Is it called Jenny,
8675309.
Jenny?
No, it's just called Jenny. But I said it twice in case people didn't hear it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hear.
I don't.
everything.
Honestly, I think maybe 5% of people engaged in this game are actually listening to the words.
That are coming
Sound
out
off
of your
in the
mouth.
chat if you are.
Ryan Green definitely is because he commented on the Weed Dragon.
Okay.
So we know that one person is.
Good. I like it.
Out of the 87 who are watching, at least. So that's cool. And we know that when we play music too loud or bad music, people tell us that. So they are listening.
All right. Okay. That's 5% of people. Let's move on to question number 5. An early casualty of the subprime mortgage crisis. What large investment bank was purchased by J.P. Morgan Chase as it was on the brink of collapse in 2008?
I feel like there's a lot of answers to that, but I'm wrong.
Purchased
I know
by
I'm
J.P.
wrong.
Morgan Chase.
It just feels like there were.
Luckily, there's literally only one answer.
Literally.
Literally.
I want to share an anecdote that's completely unrelated.
That's not an anecdote then. I mean, it is.
You just.
But it's completely unrelated.
The point is, my first instinct is to deny whatever you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying, an anecdote usually relates to something that you were talking about, but I guess technically it doesn't.
Well, I'm going to hold off on that because it's time for question number 6. Part of the plot of a 2009 Nora Ephron film involves a blogger challenging herself to make all 524 recipes in Mastering the Art of French Cooking, a cookbook by what celebrity chef? That was a lot of backstory.
But I would have, if I didn't know Mike wrote tonight's questions, I would have said 100% Dale.
What's nice about this is
we haven't had a Star Trek question.
Includes trivia in it, and that's what makes it a genuine trivia question. Sometimes it's just a question that has nothing to do with trivia. It's just like a fact we should all know.
It's a question you can know the answer to and still learn something from the question.
We should do more of those.
Yeah. I think people like that because then they walk away and say, actually, I learned this at trivia night. And they're like, I go to trivia to get educated. Question number 7. On this date in 1509, Henry VIII married Catherine of Aragon, the first of how many total marriages for that king? This is going to be a tough one, I think.
I crossed out you didn't say Henry V.
The standards are low for me. I know. Henry V. It's all caps. Henry V.
Yeah, for those of you like Bev who are like, I want a chance to redo my answers, I just want to let you know that these broadcasts are going to be left up on our channel. So if you want to rewatch them and then re-answer all of them, you can do that.
Yeah. And say, like, if you're bored with someone, you say, hey, you want to play, like, an online video game that's a trivia game?
And then what you could do is actually, like, pretend that you're making the blue board messages and just be like, look at this. I'm going to say text the rich. And then it pops up on screen.
Look
and
at
they're
this.
like,
I'm going to say,
what?
happy birthday, Grandpa. Is your Grandpa's birthday? Yeah, it is, okay? Just had to get that out there. Let's do question number 8. What early 90s TV show was hosted by William Shatner and featured dramatic reenactments of calls to emergency services?
I feel like that maybe a little too on the nose with that.
Round 0.
Sometimes round 3 questions
are easy.
Need to be easy so that people don't feel bad about themselves.
And other times you have to ask about what is the solenoid in round 2.
50% of teams win, right?
It's true, and I am impressed by that.
Yeah, that was pretty remarkable.
We've had people fare much worse than that on questions that I thought were more guessable. Usually when we ask hard questions, what are you doing?
Me?
Yes.
With my eyes?
You're just like super still.
And then look up and look down?
It just looked like you were doing something.
I've been known for being very easy to read what I'm looking at. That's the thing about my eyes. I'm not very good at hiding what I'm focusing on. Let's do questions.
My eyes go right to the thing I'm looking at.
It's very shifty,
a lot of people notice
shifty
that.
eyes. People are like, "What are you
You're
looking
looking right at my boobs, Dale. You can see that?
You can see that?" And she's like, "You can see them?" Number 10. No, number 9. What do you think about 9?
Let's do 9.
What confection consisting of balls of peanut butter fudge dipped in chocolate has been called the official snack of Ohio?
Did this come from a Saturday Night Live skit?
I like that it's called a snack and not just a dessert.
It's a snack.
Something you might have, between lunch and dinner.
Yeah, something you might put in your child's lunch as a separate entity. Like, all right.
This is for snack.
Quick clarification, and if you can't clarify, that's fine. But is it called the official snack of Ohio, or is it actually the official snack of Ohio?
Because it's in quotes.
There is no official snack of Ohio.
Okay, so it's not like a legislated official snack of Ohio.
When things are in quotes, to me, it always says
Unofficial.
It's not real.
Right.
Not really. We're just someone said that.
And it got popular.
Like when a company puts a yard sign out and they're like, quality in quotes job. I'm like, Is it not really? Because it doesn't
Right.
seem like it's quality.
I feel like quotes imply
Another
sarcasm.
quality job by us.
A judge said that we can't like use quality anymore.
Unless it sounds like sarcasm by putting in quotes. Here's question number 10. I'm going to say this wrong. George Murasan and what
George Murasan.
Sudanese player are tied as the tallest players in NBA history, each at 7'7"?
Did they ever stand next to each other and just like see who was like maybe fractions of an inch taller?
Who had the taller hair?
And we're sure that there's not someone who's not Sudanese who's taller than one of them.
Yeah, this is
In the NBA.
that's a pretty large height, and
Okay.
I think it would be. We'd all know. We'd all know.
I'm thinking of someone who I thought was 7'10".
There are people who have been taller for sure. They did not play in the NBA.
They didn't have the...
Which is
Like-
remarkable. Like, if you're that tall, you must be one klutz to not be in the NBA.
It is hard to be athletic at that height.
Is it?
Yes.
There's a lot of running up and... I don't know where you're coming
But they don't-
up.
they
I don't
don't-
know where you're coming up with the
yeah.
difficulty of being athletic at that height.
Yeah, like, do you know people of that size?
Well, they have so many joint issues at that height.
Okay, maybe.
I know Robert Waldlow.
Now you're being heightist.
Robert Waldlow could not walk.
Okay, but he was almost 10 feet tall.
And furthermore, he was suffering from a particular condition of never stop growing. But let's move on to the repeats of all the questions, where we give you 2.5 minutes. Listen, who's submitting answers? Please be on the round three answer tab, please. All right, 2.5 minutes. We'll start it in just a moment.
Okay, he was almost 9 feet tall, which that's he's more than a foot taller than these already very tall people.
Are the lights still on? They are. I turned mine off.
I don't have a mic.
Is
So we're not doing music in this. It's just silence. a lot of
We got
confusion
about 1
going
minute
on.
left to get those answers in.
Past the hour. The fuse refused to stop this burnout. El tango de la muerte. Now to the crowd. So fast it's
30 seconds to get your answers in. And the blue board has been reset. Back down to a
You sure
reasonable
it's not-
$2.
Are you sure the blue Bayrord is rest? You got 10 seconds.
That's what I said.
Counting it down. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done.
There.
The blue board is Borist. Guess what? We're going to look at all your answers. If you haven't made a donation yet and you were thinking, yeah, actually, I'd like to help them out this week, we'd really, we kind of count on that to keep this thing going. So now's the perfect time to get that wrapped up. As you can see, the bluey beard is, the bee beard is re-blessed to $2. That's all you got to be is $2 there. And we'll be right back.
No, they're not. Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, hey. We got correct answers here from round 3. A well-known computer worm in 2001 spread by an email purporting to contain a picture of what popular tennis star known for her beauty. The correct answer was Anna Kournikova. Anna Kournikova. Maria Sharapova, also known for her beauty, but was not even alive in 2001.
Steffi Graf.
Prove me if I'm wrong. Prove me if I'm wrong?
That doesn't make any sense.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Prove him.
Prove me if I'm right. English and Manx are the 2 official languages of what island located between Great Britain and Northern Ireland? The correct answer is Isle of Man, or Islay of Man, if you want to mispronounce it. 69% of teens got that right.
Manx, it's pronounced Man-X.
Are you for real? He's not right.
Oh, you don't know that I'm not right.
I have an open mind
It's
to
Isle
being
of
corrected
Man-X.
until I read your face and see if you're joking. TC Energy recently announced that it was terminating what project that would have started in Alberta and ended in Nebraska? Correct answer. The answer we were looking for was the Keystone XL pipeline. We showed no mercy on that question. If you said Keystone XL,
We
we're
showed
like,
mercy.
I'm just kidding.
Unlike Jody.
Yeah,
Some people are
we were
never going to
merciless
get
with
over
the
that.
Jody
and
one.
I am one of them. What's going on with the screen?
In Japan, Shinto shrines are usually marked by an ornamental gateway known by what T word? The correct answer is Torii. Was that the hardest question? Absolutely not. 42% of teams got it right, though, which means there was a harder question ahead. An early casualty of the subprime mortgage crisis. What large investment bank was purchased by J.P. Morgan Chase? As it was on the brink of collapse in 2008, it was not the sperm bank, as one team thought. The correct answer...
But they did buy it.
They wrote that. The correct answer was Bear Stearns. And that was the hardest question, believe it or not. 27% of teams
I
got
thought
Bear
AIG.
Stearns. I mean, it was
There were a lot of things being
banks,
bailed out.
A lot of banks were sort of on the cusp of, or actually did
I thought
fail.
Bear Stearns went under.
They were bought by J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yep.
Just felt like they went under because they stopped existing.
Right. Part of the plot, we'll just say Mastering the Art of French Cooking is a cookbook by what celebrity chef? The correct answer was Julia Childs. I'm sorry, Child. I did it, but I swear to you, I say Aldi and Barnes and Noble. I don't put S's on those things. Sometimes I put an S on
Barnes
Julia
and
Child.
Noble.
Barnes and Nobles.
I say Wegman. Going to
You go to
Wegman.
Wegman? Is it Wegmans? I don't remember. On this date in 1509, Henry VIII married Catherine of Aragon. The first of how many total marriages for that king? The correct answer was 6. 6 marriages. Was one a remarriage, though? Did he remarry the same one?
No. He had a lot of Catherines
Oh,
that he
I see.
married, but they were all different
Different Catherines.
Catherines.
A lot of Catherines
because
out
he
there.
killed them all. It's tough to remarry someone you murder.
People did weird things back then.
And then I remarried the corpse of my bride because I realized
What
the mistake.
early 90s TV show was hosted by William Shatner featured dramatic reenactments of calls to emergency services? 57% of teams got Rescue 911. I eat my words. Is that an expression? I'll
You
my
eat your
words.
crow.
I will eat crow
your
on
crow
that one. I thought
toes.
more teams would have got that right. Rescue 911. And we got a confection that consists of balls of peanut butter and fudge dipped in chocolate. It's been called the official snack of Ohio. They are known as Buckeyes.
Sweaty balls.
Nope.
Sweaty balls.
Buckeyes. Okay.
Buckeyes.
And George Murasan and what Sudanese player are tied as the tallest players in NBA history, each standing at 7'7". How many teams got this right? 78% of teams got this right by writing Manute Bol. Manute Bol. You'll see your scores at the Scores tab. You'll see the answers right down here. And we're going to do our wagering now. So the final question. What category does the final question come from? Children's television. Children's television. You can wager a maximum of 200 points. Have your scribe go to the wager tab and plug in a number that you agree upon or a number that they just feel like plugging in, anywhere between 0 and 200 points. Children's television's category. Will be right back.
After these messages.
After your
we'll
messages.
Be right back. That's children's television right there.
You're right. That was Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s, right?
And early 90s.
Early 90s, yeah.
I don't know. Might have been.
1990 happened. They said, we got to drop it. This is the 90s.
A lot of things like New Year's of a new decade strikes, and a lot of stuff just gets dropped. Now, there's a lot of controversy as to when a decade starts because purists will say the decade doesn't start until the 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, because we didn't start on year 0.
So we just started our current decade.
This is it. Yes. They would say that 2020 was part of the 20 teens or the 2010s, or I don't know how you would. Shoot.
Oh, look at this. This is interesting. Kelly is sharing in the chat that there's a mnemonic for the dates of Henry's wives. It goes divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. And when I said,
how's that a mnemonic? It just seems like a list of what happened to them.
That's fates of Henry's wife.
Fates, yeah, the fates. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. There's a little bit of a rhyme to it. A mnemonic doesn't have to rhyme. It's just a method to remember things with.
Yeah, but I just don't understand. That just seems like a series of deaths.
Ryan says
they all died except for one.
She said fates.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how that makes it easy to remember.
I guess 2.
It's just a jingle, you can boil it down.
Yeah, I must need to hear. There's probably like a well-known rhyme that it goes with.
Party Like It's 2000 doesn't have a great ring, says Ryan. Okay, we're going to do our final question. Turn your focus up and forward. You'll have 90 seconds to get your answers in. Make sure you're on the final question submission part, not the wager anymore. Here we go. Ready for that question? I am. Let's do it. From 2013 to 2019, what Cartoon Network show featured the titular character's adventures with the magical aliens named Crystal, Amethyst, and Pearl, known collectively as the Crystal Gems?
Your time starts now.
Boop, 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 boo. There it is. Right up there.
Yep, there it is.
There's your time.
A lot of anticipating that has to be done with this app. Are they going to get to, here's the theme music to this song in between?
No, that wouldn't be fair.
Here's the fake theme music.
The theme music? We bought the rights to the theme music.
This feels like a kid's song theme.
It's not a kid's song,
Kids
it's a
show theme song. This computer, though not plugged in, and a laptop sitting on my lap in this already very hot office, is making my legs sweat.
Brian's got sweaty legs.
So
You've got
basically,
45 seconds left.
This is blurring out some important stuff.
Okay, 30 seconds left to get those answers in. Okay, time's running short. We're almost down to 10 seconds. There's 10 seconds now. Okay, we're getting ready for the gong here. Counting it down. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're done. You hit your submit button, hopefully. We're going to look at your answers, and we'll have your scores posted momentarily. We'll be right back.
me back into your arms, and I'll never let you down. Let you down. Let you down.
Hello again.
Hello again.
We've looked at your answers, and we've
looked
got
at
the
your
correct
answers,
one.
and we've
Brian's
got the
having
correct
fun
one.
here.
Dale's having fun here.
From 2013 to 2019, what Cartoon
2019,
Network
what
show
Cartoon
featured
Network show
the
featured
titular
the
character's
titular
adventure with
adventures
magical aliens named Crystal, Amethyst, and Pearl? Do you think anyone appreciates that?
I do.
Only you.
You're
Known
laughing.
collectively as the Crystal Gems, the correct answer is Steven Universe. Steven Universe. There it is. You see it right there. This was a tough question. Let's see. What percentage of teams got that right? 45% of teams got that right. Tough question. Right in the sweet spot, though, for final questions. This is what the scores look like. We've got top 4 teams. Pumpkin Cookies and the Bronx and Burning were tied for third with 770 each. Traveling Wilburys got second with 780. And Petty Fest Shementi Fest ended up with 790 points. Good enough for first place and the pride of their households, I guess. We hope you had fun even if you didn't win the game. Hopefully you won yourself a good time. We'll be back next week for Friday Night Live at 8 o'clock. We hope to see you out in person too. Remember, Mike is not just a ghost that we talked to over there, but actually a live host at Gilded Club, which is starting at 7 o'clock now on Thursdays. I'm out 3 nights a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Brian's out on Tuesdays, so you can find us out in the wild if you want to. Check out Syracuse.
I'm at Coleman's, Dale's at World of Beer on Mondays, and at Heritage Hill on Wednesdays, and Beer Belly Deli on Thursdays.
Yep. And you can see where we are at our website, SyracuseTriviaNight.com, to see all the new locations if you didn't already see them there.
Remember, Gilded Club starts at 7 now.
You just don't listen to what I say.
I do listen. I'm saying it again because people need to hear things 3 times before it
that's right,
sticks.
the rule of 3s. All right. And Bev wanted a karaoke of some song I've never heard before. Oh, she says she's got to go. All right. Maybe next week, Bev. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Signing off.
You turn